Listen, man, because you're the baddest motherfucker on the planet, usually we do food trucks there. We can't find a food truck bad enough for you. So we hired the best sushi in town, and we got a waiter for your badass. Good sushi, huh? Jorge, my man. Street Jesus, brother, you made it. Do you like the Street Jesus name?
Yes and no. I believe in Jesus, so I'm definitely not Jesus, but I see the humor in it, you know?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun for the fans.
And, yeah, definitely the fans. I've seen some crazy stuff. Actually, the last fight in New York, as I'm walking through the tunnel, this girl's going nuts. I'm like, hey, look at my phone cover in it, and it's me in like saint mode.
Wow.
Doing some type of blessing, you know, with the heart, with the thorns and all types of stuff on the cover of her phone. I thought it was nuts, man.
Was she hot?
I don't remember.
That means no. You would have remembered. Exactly. So the thing is how are you dealing with all this, the media and all that stuff? Because
I stay closed indoors.
Yeah, I know. Your heart got to track down,
a little
man.
Bit, yeah.
It's like there's certain guys I know, especially when they come on here when they do other interviews, they're like chomping at the bit, like they want it. Really, I feel like you could take it or leave it. Is that fair?
It's pretty damn fair. This guy knows.
Is that fair to say?
I don't care, and but at the same time, I do care. When I took the year off, there's a lot of things I took into consideration. You know, besides ending people, I knew I had to get better at this, and that meant doing more of it because I know how to talk. Obviously,
Are you uncomfortable with it?
Not uncomfortable, but it's just the same repetitive things.
I know.
And I've polished myself throughout the years to be able to hold a conversation, walk into a room and stuff. But I always grew up very antisocial, way more to myself. You know, maybe I had like 2-3 friends in the whole high school. You know, and that was about it. Yeah.
Why so? Just because home life didn't make you that way, or?
I just naturally think I'm more like that. I
More
go into a
introverted.
place and I watch, I absorb a little bit, and maybe I start to talk if somebody talks to me. But if nobody talks to me, you won't hear a peep from me.
Yeah,
you know?
you're good.
Yeah. And I don't know, just a couple rough people in the neighborhood also always kept me extra on my toes.
Watch your P's and Q's.
Yeah, exactly. So the fame is like a little overwhelming.
I think it's interesting from my side of things too, because it's like everyone's familiar with Jorge Masvidal. Everybody, because you've beat so many good guys, so everyone's familiar with how goddamn good you are. And then now that you're here, I feel like you have the most authentic career. You know what I'm saying? Because you have the most authentic career in the UFC, because a lot of guys, you know, when people go, oh, I want to be like John Jones, or I want to be like Brock Lesnar, or Ronda Rousey, or Conor McGregor, it's like that was 0 to 100. Their career, 2 years, they're in spotlight, they're famous as fuck, they're flying around in private jets. Yours was this slow boil, man, where everyone can watch. It was a slow boil, you know? So I feel like you're
boiling.
Yeah. So you're here, so it's just like, I just feel like even if you're a Nick Diaz fan, people respect what you do. It'd be tough to find holes in your career. Does that make sense? Because you're such an authentic dude.
No, I've been doing it for a while. A lot of guys, they have great exposure.
Yep.
Maybe they start to, do other things. I've fallen in love with the sport. It wasn't like I didn't do other things at times, but I truly love what I do, you know. I love waking up in the morning and I don't have to go to an office, or I could change it up. I could say, you know what, today I'm just gonna run 5 miles out on the beach. I could do that if I want. All that stuff, I love it. That's why I keep strong in the sport. And when I look around the mat, especially at ATD, I'm 35 now. I look around, I don't have none of my graduating class members with me anymore.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's rare. It's all new faces on the mat, and it's just hit me. I'm like, shit, I'm still here. You know,
You're
it's
the
nuts.
Tom Brady of ATT.
I think so, man.
Yeah. When you had that year off, you were just kind of sick of the game, or just kind of, because you had a great career up till then. Like, let's say you retired after you took that year off. If you retired before that, still a great career, phenomenal career. What happened in that year? What the hell happened that year where you came back just like this banshee?
I had some injuries, man, coming off the Thompson fight that I've had for a while. You know, just they'd come in every training camp and stuff, so I wanted to nurse them, heal myself up real good. And I've said it before, but I'll say now. My manager calls me. You know, we're talking back and forth about who I'm gonna fight next, and he calls me and goes, "Hey man, what's up? I got this great gig for you, man. I think you're gonna like it. It's a really good opportunity." I go, "All right, shoot." He goes, "Man, I got this reality for this TV reality deal." Say it again.
Like what?
For a reality show. Oh, okay.
Yeah. No.
A week goes by and he calls me again with the offer. And I'm thinking he's trolling me now because he's a master trollman. I go,
Master trollman.
you're trolling or you're for real? No, I'm for real. He calls me back, goes, just let me finish, and then you could make your decision, but let me finish. So he pitches the thing to me, and it's already been like 2-3 weeks that the UFC can't find an opponent for us. So he gives me the gig, and while we've been saying no to them, the price has been going up and up and up. Me not even thinking about them, me just saying, I don't want to do no. I'm not going to be in real world. I'm not made for that. I'm going to get arrested, you know? And he tells me what the competition is like. It's like a Survivor and Ninja Warrior type mix where survival takes a play and you're doing athletic abilities to eat, to have housing, to have access to talk to your family members and stuff. So I'm like, all right, sounds pretty rough, and I'm going to be there with good athletes as well from other disciplines.
And how long?
The show lasted 15 weeks. I was there 13 weeks. Yeah.
Bro, that's a long ass time.
Yeah, it was a nice grind.
And where was it shot at?
Dominican Republic. And I was out there in the jungle. But the show, the feature of the show was awesome. But what really got me to be able to micromanage, reverse engineer, whatever you want to call it, my whole career was the time that I had with myself and my own thoughts on the regular basis every day, you know?
To like step away and
like
kind of analyze everything.
No cell phones, no TV, no music, and I'm just around other athletes. For a good portion of the day, like 7-8 hours, and the rest I'd truly just be by myself. I just go out there, get lost in the mountains, or go to the beach, work out. You know, it's not like I was antisocial, but I was spending a decent amount of time every day by myself, with no outside influences, no nothing, you know, so I brought that back with me as well. That's why I'm a hard man to contact. I don't really have a phone too much.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, man, I have to. It's just, it works better for me. My creativity comes from my being alone, you know?
Love it.
Yeah.
So you got back from there, and could you tell, Abe, as a manager, could you tell he was different?
All right, it's a brand new guy. Came back, left fat, came back shredded, tan, hair completely out. And he just looked at me in the eyes and goes, I'm taking souls this year. That's all he told me.
And then it was off to the races, man.
It was off to the races. We got, it was a good roller coaster all the way leading up to my first fight. You know, a couple opponents were saying yeah, then no, and this and that. And then finally it ended up being Till in England. And I was excited about that fight because I had seen Till fight. And I had been away for a while, so I didn't see his loss with Woodley. I didn't know what had happened with all that. So I started catching back up in the sport. And I was like, man, if Till's the guy, Till's the guy. I would love to fight this dude, you know? So we got the fight.
In Liverpool, in his backyard, which, when I saw the fight, I'm like, what is Jorge doing, man? Because I'm a Till fan. He's so talented, man. He's young, and he's like this young, hungry lion. It's in his backyard. Like, what is Jorge doing? And you go and starch him.
Yeah. The backyard thing, I'm going to say something I've never said before.
Please do.
Their backyard thing, it's like my home, because my home has always been the road. I'm not like a guy that was famous in the city, so I kept fighting in the city or in a venue near my city. So my home is the road, I've always felt like. So when I go to somebody's hometown, it's just like,
that gives you the power.
oh, I'm going to F you up for real, man.
Wow.
Yeah. That's my home, is the road, you know? That's why I don't...
That's so interesting. It's your advantage.
It's my advantage.
You embrace the away game.
For me to fight my city, it doesn't even really attract me because home for me, like I said, is the road. Wherever the fight gets announced.
Why is that? Just because you've been doing it so long?
Just because I've been doing it so long. I've never fought at like the same venue constantly or something near my home that's the same. I've always just fought wherever the fight is at. So I've always had this, that wherever it's at, if it's in Japan, if it's in Singapore, if it's in Las Vegas, if it's in California, it doesn't matter. It's a fight. You know, you send me to the next planet over. It's just a fight we're talking about. Elbows, knees. Okay, cool. Let's do it. You know.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, because I was just like, especially, you know, not question the move. I'm just like, what were they thinking? Toss him in there with this young line Till. They knock him out, and then it's like, I do believe things happen for a reason. And just the match, I'm sure your manager had something to do with it too. But then, you know, when you get Ben Askren, who's just been begging for it, and
begging for it on his knees,
literally begging for it. But it's like, people go, was the trade for Askren for Mighty Mouse good for the UFC? And I believe it paid off tremendously for the UFC because of you.
Yes, sir.
Because Ben Askren, and I'm not saying you wouldn't be at the level you're at without Ben, but it's tough because
tough.
Ben brought this entire crowd and talked all this shit. And love or hate Ben, he did his job to get people to tune into the fight. And then when you knock him out the way you did, it was like this fucking rocket was on your back, man. UFC's like, oh, we got one.
Yeah.
Oh, we got one.
Yeah.
and then Nate comes, and then it's like the bad motherfucker title, and then it's and even to me, like I'm usually like those gimmicks stuff like that. I'm usually against it, like the purest of the sport. I'm like, what are we doing? Especially with you and Nate, like you guys don't need it. And then it made sense. It was because it was organic. The baddest motherfucker I need. There's another gangster on the East Coast, and then it like came to fruition. Then you get that fight, and then it was the perfect storm. It was the perfect storm, man. And you can never do it again. When they talk about rematch, no. That was a one-time deal. We found out who the baddest man was. It wasn't much of a competition. It's done. That's done. That title's yours forever. Anybody who beats you, if they do, they're never getting that belt. That was that one-time deal. You're never going to see that again. It's the perfect storm. And then it catapulted you even here.
Yeah.
So and it's like, what do we do now? What do we do now? So now I'm sitting back, and tell me if I'm wrong on this. I'm looking at Kamaru Usman, Colby Compton. I mean, fuck a title. You're bigger than a title. The BMF belt, there's nothing bigger than that. You have that. So it's like Kamaru and Colby, whatever happens there, it's like, that's peanuts to you. But now you got Nick Diaz out there. Huge fucking fight. Huge fight. The big bro.
And it has a huge backstory to it, you know?
It's the biggest.
Yeah. It's definitely a fight. And always growing up, me and Nick both fighting Strike Force and different shows. And I've always liked Nick's style as well. I've always liked how he scraps. I never thought he was the most skilled guy, but I think he's one of the guys with the biggest heart, you know?
One of the toughest guys you come across.
Would just lay it all out there. Win or lose, he'd always give it his all. And that's something that I truly admire, that quality in a fighter. If he's the fastest, the strongest, it's good. But my favorite quality in the fighters is the dogs. It's the guy that just doesn't take no for an answer. Even if he gets beat up, but he just never took a no for an answer.
That's because you're looking in the mirror, right?
Yes, sir.
There you go.
That's what I like to see. That's what I feel. I happen to be quick. I happen to be strong. But even if I wasn't, I'd still be that guy that's just game the whole time, you know?
And did you see the interview Nick did with Ira Hawani?
I saw pieces of it. My manager showed me some pieces. I was on the Dan Levitard show. They showed me some pieces there as well. I don't have too much access to TV. I could afford them and stuff, but I don't watch too much.
Keep that, bro.
Yeah,
keep that vibe. No matter how big you get, keep that.
No, it helps me, man.
You're so authentic. I'm telling you, please keep that.
Yes, sir. You got it, man.
So with Nick saying, you know, and I like this, you know, because I have a little brother. And we went, you know, you beat up my baby brother, and now you're dealing with the big brother. I'm like, oh, that's a narrative there, son.
No, and if he's got that fire lit under him, I know we're gonna have a fight. You know, I know Nick's a dog. He's gonna take whatever I can give, you know, and I'm gonna give him everything I got to hit the off button, to turn him off as well, you know. So I'm excited for the fight for those reasons you're saying too, because I know he wants to hurt me. You know, he has to avenge his little brother. So it's a fight that pumps me up, man.
They could come get it in Stockton too if they want. I feel like you would even be willing to go to Sacramento. Where do you guys want to do it?
Wherever you want to do it, man. I don't give a damn. If we go back to England, give the England fans a treat. If we go to Mexico, I don't care where the fight's at, man.
I love it, man. Yeah, like with that BMF title, it was like an unspoken thing between you and Nate, and I was all about it. Then when you walked out, and I saw East on your chest and West on his. I'm like, what the hell's happening here?
Yeah,
that's not very gangster. You get corporate got involved by East West. What are we doing? We don't need that. That wasn't gangster, but it still worked. So with Nick, that's a huge fight. The only hiccup there isn't between your management, you and Nick. It'd be between Nick's management and the UFC, right? They have this long history. There's this long layoff. So that'd be the scariest thing. Don't you think? Going to you, Abe, don't you think that'd kind of be the challenge there?
Yeah, but what I heard from everybody was that Nick wants to fight just as bad as, you know, ever. So if that's the case, I don't think it should be that tough.
It should be a payment thing,
I just think it'd be a payment thing. Figure out the numbers on his end and, you know, come back to us.
And for you guys, the ideal time to fight?
No
rush, right? No
rush, but there's certain elements coming back into the sport. You know, they could be, we could be on the same card. Certain right elements get in there, because obviously I'm trying to sell pay-per-views. Now that they're giving me that pay-per-view money.
What, bro? I'm so proud of you, man. First time meeting you, I was fucking proud of you, man. Good for you, man.
Yeah, man. So I gotta.
So if you want that pay-per-view, let's get on the Conor fight. Conor, Cowboy, Nick, you, Co.
We just sold the what?
What's up, bro?
We're taking over matchmakers' jobs.
What's
now,
up,
man.
dude?
This guy knows.
What are we doing, man? Imagine that fight. And UFC, they haven't had like a huge blockbuster pay-per-view since they went over to this different model. You tell me, Conor, Cowboy, Masvidal, Nick Diaz. What are we doing?
Who's not buying that one? You know?
I am this guy.
Oh shit! What's up, man? Caviar?
Thanks, man.
What? Let's do this, man.
You have good sushi in Miami, though.
Yeah, I know. Cali, I feel, is more consistent with the sushi and with a lot of the food. Miami, we got great Latin food, decent Asian food in some places. But I think food overall, like in California and New York, is some of the best in the world.
Just different. Like, you guys definitely do the Latin flavor way better.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I gotta hit you up next time I'm there. I went to some good spots.
No, we got you, bro. I take you to like my aunt's house. That's where you get the best food.
Hell yeah.
That's...
I'd love to go to your aunt's house.
No, my aunt.
She can cook?
Yeah, man. She throws down.
You're in town because you can get a little maybe stem cell on the wrist, stuff like that, just heal up. Yeah, because there's really no rush. You got to figure out with what's going on with Nick. And then the only other fight, again, I'm not throwing shade at Kamaru or Colby, but those guys, looking at where you're at from your manager, that's your fifth pick. Like, you're one of the few guys that's bigger than the title. Like, you're good, especially at pay-per-view now. So that besides Nick, the only other one would be Conor.
Oh, and we'd love that fight because that bank account increases more, you know? But I'm not a bully, man. If the dude don't want it, I understand. You know, he was picking Nate hard, and then he was talking a little bit about wanting the winner. I think if it had been Nate, he doesn't want this, man. You know?
I don't think so either. I'd be surprised if the UFC let it happen, just because he's had that time off. He does need a win. I don't think he'd be favored in a matchup with you. Yeah, with Conor, I do think he's going to get a Cowboy or something in that matchup. You fighting Nick Diaz. And then the only other opponent I really see there would be a guy you have history with, Leon Edwards. But, you know, he would be below Kamaru and Colby because, you know, obviously you guys had your issues in the back where you gave him the 3-piece and a soda. But it's not the best fight to sell right now, so he would have to get even. I wouldn't even mind if you wait for Nick or Conor and then have Leon fight the winner of Colby Kamaru, so it builds the narrative even more for you. You're kind of in the driver's seat, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And we work hard to get here. I told him from the beginning of this year, I'm gonna separate myself from the pack. And he was like, let's do it, you know? And I think I've definitely done it as far as my weight class goes because there's so much talent in our sport. It's crazy, you know? But as far as my weight class goes, I've separated myself completely from the pack. I got more stoppages this year than a lot of guys in the top 10 have their whole career, you know? Especially these crotch sniffer dudes, you know?
Yeah.
I'm in the company of Matt Hughes, I think.
Yep.
You know, they got 3 stoppages in a year. I couldn't be in better company, you know?
Oh, as far as separating stuff from the pack, yeah, I mean, fucking rocket ship. It'd be, yeah, I believe a year ago, if you told people what you're gonna do, it'd be like, good luck with that. I don't know if you're like, you guys probably had a plan, but this is insane. Like the bad motherfucker title,
Yeah.
The Rock blowing you up. You got The Rock sliding your DMs like a thirsty trap girl, huh? He was like, oh, I need to be there. I need to get on. I was like, damn, Rock, chill, bro. You'll be there, chill, bro. You want to be in the back and shit? He's walking out. He's all, hey, huh? He's crunk.
My favorite part about The Rock, he wasn't shy with his pick, man. He said he knew his boy from Miami was gonna pull through. I don't know why Nate was mad. Why would he be mad? If it was some Cali dude going for you, I wouldn't give a damn.
No, because that's your guy. That's your kind of that's your territory. So that makes sense. And Nate was mad. Did you see The Rock after the fight?
Yeah. We talked for a little bit, gave me some good advice. Just a cool dude, man. I met him like 6 years ago. Nobody knew who I was, and he was a cool dude then, you know?
Did he came to the gym or something?
He came to the gym. Dan Lambert, the owner of American Top Team, is a huge pro wrestling fan. So he buys like pro wrestling titles and stuff. And I don't know, I think it might have been The Rock's first world championship that he ever won.
Do you follow WWE?
Not much.
I don't either, yeah.
And The Rock or Dan, I don't know how they got in contact with each other. And Dan told him, hey, I got your belt. And The Rock wanted to buy it back off him. Dan's like, no, I'm just give it to you. Just come to American Top Team, blah, blah, blah. So he came and met a couple of us. And he was like the most down-to-earth dude on the planet, man. Just super fucking cool.
Are you going to be in the next Fast and Furious 19 or some shit, you think? Just Hobbs, Shaw, and Masvidal now?
I think they're going to put me in the GTA, man.
I would say.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Nah, I'm just talking shit, but why not?
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. I mean, fuck yeah. Yeah, I feel like you got like, you know, Ronda did it. There's some other fighters did it. John did it before, you know, he had his issues, but you cross over this like pop culture where they embrace you because it's so authentic, and now you got, you know, these celebrities in Hollywood embrace you now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And then once they start shooting you out, your network just boom.
What do you do with your free time now? Because now you're the champ, right? You're the man. You got notoriety, you got fame. We're waiting to see what happens with Nick, with Connor. You got all that going on. So it's like, it's just like living your best life.
I'm just indoors most of the time, man.
Just stay indoors.
Stay indoors. Yeah, I'm not great at small chat, so when I have to do it all the time, like if I go to the supermarket, we take like 15 pictures, and then
it must be exhausting for you.
The talking, you know, if it's just like a picture and a thing, it's cool, but when it's like a lot of questions and stuff, and I treat everybody the same, I shook 5 guys' hands, I'm not gonna come and be an asshole to you, like, oh, you're the 6th guy, get out of my face. So that, to me, like, to stay sharp like that the whole day, and sometimes you're just like...
It's just a lot of your energy.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, you know. And plus, my anxiety starts to kick in, so I stay indoors for most of the part,
You get anxiety with it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Large crowds give me anxiety, you know, like being in those mosh pits and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I don't like large crowds either. Guess you just get used to it. So for you, it's just staying indoors, waiting for the next fight, man, and kind of doing your thing.
Training. I'm training at my house, too, most of the time, because now when I go to the gym, photo shoot, you know? It's crazy.
There's always stuff going on.
And that's the only time I get mad, actually.
Really?
When I'm at
you go
work.
To work?
When I'm at motherfuckers, I don't show up to nobody's job, Brendan, and start fucking with them.
No, yeah.
What are you doing on this computer here,
Yeah.
you know? Oh, people do
What are
it.
you doing on this computer?
Yeah. And one thing is cool, like if you just get the picture, but then they start talking to you while you're in the middle of the train. It's like, my brother, you know, and my mind's at another place. That's the only time that I'm not this guy that I could talk and be social. My mind's at another place where I'm just concentrating on work, and it's getting bad, you know? I might have to hire security at the gym, man.
I mean, that's what you know.
Yeah. The training
That's a different level.
Nobody can fuck with the tempo, man.
No, hell no. I mean, that's where. I mean, that's your place of work.
That's the bread and butter.
You can't mess with that, man. Yeah, that's where you're gonna get better, man. That's so interesting for you, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for you, man. Excited for your next fight. I love how you can kind of sit back to see what happens. You're also gonna get a big fish. I think it's gonna be Nick. I think being the co-main event on Connor's card makes all the sense in the world. I hope it happens.
I hope so too.
I hope people leave you alone at the grocery store.
No, I don't go no more.
Oh wow!
I got
Postmates,
this app,
bro.
Boop, 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 boop. Yep.
Yeah.
I got one of them apps that just show up to the house with the groceries. Here you go, sir.
Postmates,
Makes
DoorDash,
it
whatever.
easy, man.
They both work. Promo code shop. Yeah, man. I wish you the best, brother. I can't thank you enough for taking time of the day to do the show. When I'm in Miami, I'm hitting you up.
Let's do it, man.
Please let me come to your aunt's house and eat.
Oh, I got you, man.
That'd be dope.
And you could eat, so she'll love you, you know?
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks, man.
Who's your pick for fight of the year?
Fight of the year?
Who's the pick for fighter of the year?
Oh, fight of the year? Oh, come on. Fight of the year? This is easy. We just went through this. Easy pick. Jorge Masvidal. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, sir.
You're the best, man.